wasn't miserable last night, but I wasn't at the Ritz by no means. I didn't get a lot of sleep. Charlie's fine. Say hi to everybody. Hi everybody. Everything is good. I kept the fire going all night long. I only had to get up once to get wood. It was cold, but not teeth-shattering cold. I'm gonna have to figure some things out about the shelter though. I'm gonna have to close it in more. I didn't have enough bedding down. I need to find way more pine boughs. Get about 6-7 inches off the ground. Feet are a little bit cold. Today, gonna improve the shelter, structurally make it a little bit sounder, but what else? Hopefully catch some fish, some more crayfish, find some berries. It's gonna be a full day. Day one, not so bad. Night one, could be better. I'm gonna try to have to get some hour naps today. See if I can't catch up on some sleep. I'm seeing some storm clouds coming in. Still see some blue here and there. I'm not going to get a lot of sunshine today. So my priority was make sure I have enough dry wood in my shelter to get the fire going again, and so that I have enough coals that the wet stuff, if it starts raining, I can get to dry off and burn. So as long as I have a backup bundle of firewood in the shelter under cover, then I can go ahead and rain. Alright, well, I'm trying to get some fishing done. I've only caught a crayfish, one crayfish for breakfast, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping to score with some fish, because if I can score with some fish, then I'll score with more crayfish. And then if I can get some crayfish, I can start using that as bait, and I know that that works really well. So, I know it's still light out, but it's time for me to go to bed. I want to end day two. Pretty good day. One crawfish for breakfast, and then a fish for dinner, and a crawfish for dinner. And then I have one in my cup still and some water that's going to be breakfast. But I got plenty of wood tonight. A little bit more padding. Still not great. It's not my best. I could do better. But yeah, if I close this shelter in, boy, I'd be roasting. So that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. Good morning. It is day 3. Not bad so far. Last night was better than the night before. Still not great. I was able to keep a bigger fire going, more steady. I got longer sections of sleep, and actually feel not so bad right now. So I'm going to try to get a few more hours this morning as it gets warmer, and I'll get up. Starting to hear things. I hear lots of times marching bands off into the woods. I hear voices every once in a while. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just see if Charlie heard it, because if he didn't hear it, then I sure as heck didn't. Had a crazy dream last night. Charlie and I woke up in the shelter, and instead of, I guess, the river, we're almost kind of like in an open plain, and all these Alaska pioneers or something, and there was all sorts of sled dogs, but they weren't hooked up into sleds. They were like all just coming back, and everybody was packing and backpacking. I remember holding Charlie, grabbing Charlie, and then all of a sudden I thought it was, oh my God, that's a wolf. That's a pack of wolves. And then, no, that's a group of sled dogs, and there's more people, and we just sat there and watched them proceed by as they all just kind of stared at me. Wonder what that means. It's kind of my idea. The deal is I'm trying to figure that out. Mossman! I'm running out of some gear here, so it's important to have it. Hooks and swivels, my only source of food, and on top of it, you know, I leave that hook in there. Charlie goes running through, or somebody else's dog goes running through, catches on them, he keeps running, rips them right open. Saw the results of that through a buddy of mine who lives in Texas, and happened to one of his puppies. It was horrible, horrible. Do not leave your hooks in the stream. Do everything you have to get them out. Well, it is the end of day 3. I've eaten 1 crawfish today with the broth for breakfast. I'm now about to have 2. I have caught 3, but one was half the size of those 2 guys, so I threw them back. I'm starting to get a little frustrated. I'm starting to take longer to do things, and my focus is a little bit getting a little bit weird, but I'm doing great. I don't have any hunger pains. I'll eat this, and I'm sure I'll be just fine. I think it's going to be a lot warmer night tonight, and I think hopefully I'll get a lot more sleep than I have in the last 2 nights. Just waiting for the sun to come up for day 4. The stars are pretty awesome tonight. It's better, way better in here than it was before. Way warmer. Do worry about this thing catching on fire. All this moss is getting super dry. I mean, one spark and this could be kind of a mess. It is always colder right before dawn. Well, alright. Working towards getting up. As far as sleeping, started moving into some lucid dreams last night. I can see myself starting to deteriorate a little bit. Yeah, the sleep deprivation is getting to me. I think Charlie misses the couch right now, but once he starts hunting for chipmunk again, he'll be great. He's been having a time of his life doing that. My priorities, I've got to make the floor of this thing more comfortable. Got to level an area close enough to the fire that I can get the warmth when it gets to be a small fire. I can't be keeping such a big fire because this shelter's super dry. If I catch it on fire, we'd all be in trouble. We got 2 exits. Charlie's got his door at that end. So I'm going to get up and get it done. I was going to head out and do some kind of adventuring and head up river a little ways, look around. But here's my problem. It's really looking like it's going to threaten to really rain now. So I've got to make sure I got as much dry wood as I can get processed and stuffed into the shelter before I do anything. Because it's just miserable if I'm going to be cold. Day 4 was a challenge for sure. Rained hard off and on all day. Every time I tried to go do something, it started raining. I struggled to keep the fire going. I fell in the river when I was fishing. I've been running around on these rocks the last several days, and it got wet, and I don't know, I just slipped, and one slip happened to another slip, but I pretty much went all the way in except for my head. Spent all afternoon drying my clothes off, trying to do some fishing, just not having any luck. I've caught several crayfish, but they were all so small that they weren't even worth killing. It was just kind of a rough day for that. rough day all the way around. So I could tell I'm getting a little careless because, probably because I haven't eaten and probably because I haven't slept very well. Hopefully I have enough wood this time that I'm going to make it through this night. And then tomorrow's going to be the last day. But I tell you, man, the survival stuff is just non-stop. I was planning on really focusing on some of the spiritual aspects of being out here alone and surviving. It's just a full-time deal. I'm constantly thinking, what's next, what's next, what's next? Yeah, there's 10 million things to do. If I'm not fishing, I'm trying to get crayfish. Wood is the full-time job. Gathering wood for this fire and keeping me warm at night, especially without a sleeping bag and everything. Well, it's, another long night. Not as cold, seems longer. Having more trouble sleeping. But, this is the life of a fire watchman. Whoa, trying to burn my hat again, god dang it.